So in Thanksgiving weekend 1998, David asked me to marry him, and I said yes. So we started to plan this dream wedding, and everything was falling into place until 2 weeks before Christmas and 5 months before the wedding date, when I received a phone call at my parents' home that David had been killed in a freak workplace accident. That night is a blur. I remember weeping, wailing, throwing myself on my parents' hardwood floor, like pounding my fists into the ground over and over. I had bruises on my arms for a week. Why would God allow this? David was a type of man that used to say he would give his life for one person to know Christ. Why would God take him home? My parents' home quickly flooded with grief counselors, the police, neighbors, friends that had heard the news, my pastor, and they were all trying to find something to say, but there's nothing to say at that moment. Like, oh, Cindy, he's singing with the heavenly choir, like, zip it, like, really, like, no, like. And so at one point I just had it, and I said, get out, everyone out. So my mom helped usher everyone to the back of her home except my pastor, because I needed to have a word with him. And I'll never forget sitting on my mom's steps with the Christmas tree twinkling in the background, looking him straight in the eye and saying, why would God allow this? Why did he call David home? The next day on the front page of our local newspaper was David's story, how we met, and even about our upcoming wedding and David's faith. And as we were planning for David's funeral, I said, we have to share hope and truth there. It's what David would have wanted. And it was at David's funeral that my dad, who had been an atheist agnostic my whole life, my dad raised his hand and decided he wanted Jesus to be a part of his life too. But it didn't make things easier. Although I was grateful that my dad now wanted a new faith, mostly I just wanted my fiancé back. I'll be honest, that especially that first year, it was not easy, because in my past I had always numbed the pain, numbed the hurt. I asked God, this time, help me to feel it. Help me to feel my very real emotions. I didn't know how to do that. I didn't even know how to pray in the midst of it. Most days my prayers were like, God, I can't do this. But I thought about how much of my life I wasted. And this time I wanted to keep going. I wanted to not numb out, but to feel the pain. And so on a day, there was like waves. Some days I would be okay, and then I would hear a song, I would smell a smell, I would see a picture, and I would be on a puddle on the floor. Some days I was so angry that God had allowed this to happen. One day I remember shoveling my driveway, thinking, like, why am I doing this? Like, David used to shovel for me. So angry that I literally took a shovel and started like shaking my shovel in anger to the Lord. But what I was learning is that God could handle my emotions. He could handle my very real emotions. I didn't have to numb them. I didn't have to stuff them. I just had to feel them and give them to him. And slowly, day by day, sometimes minute by minute, God was truly binding up my broken heart, little stitch by little stitch by little stitch. If you're watching today and you find yourself in the midst of grief, may I remind you, hold on to hope. Be honest with your feelings. Get them out. You don't have to numb them or stuff them. Be honest how you're really doing. Be open. Let people help you. It's okay to cry. It's okay to smile sometimes. It's okay to say, yes, you can bring a meal. Yes, you can babysit my kids. Be open. Be prayerful. Even if you don't know how to pray, just keep talking. Even if it's, God, I can't do this. Just keep talking, be prayerful, and then be expectant. This I believe from the bottom of my heart, that our God is near to the brokenhearted. Look for his hand. He's with you.